Welcome to the New Corner After Dark. We're not only talking about all things independent comics, but everything comics. I'm Mikey.
I'm Rebecca.
I'm Seamus.
And today, people, we're back at again another episode of New Corner After Dark, episode number 51 of the podcast. And yeah, we're back at it again. We made it to 51, guys. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? 51.
I feel like I haven't done After Dark in like a year.
I know. Because you've been
actively 25, actually.
I know. Because you've been actively avoiding it, which I don't blame you. You know, it's a lot. It's a lot to go through. I get it. Plus, you've been out there gallivanting, so like I can't blame you for that either. But yeah, people, are back at another podcast, another new style podcast. We got a bunch of topics to talk about: some comic stuff, some video game stuff, some TV show stuff, movie stuff, lots of stuff. But as always, people, well, obviously we got to do, the due diligence real quick. So please, if you found us, please, do us a favor, like and subscribe, hit the notification bell so know when we drop new content. Please, we appreciate it because we put a heart and soul into what we do, and we need views, we need subscribers. It would just be much. The algorithm fucking hates us. So please, like and subscribe. But yeah, people. So, but first things first. Just formalities of the way because we haven't done a news joint in a while. Well, first off, happy Juneteenth to all the black fam out there, all the black brothers and sisters. Happy Juneteenth to y'all and to myself. Hope it's gonna be a lit weekend. Get your barbecues out and going on. Get your plates. All right. So yeah, that's happy Juneteenth. Seamus, specifically, this is you specifically. Congrats to Scotland. Invading Boston and drinking y'all dry, bro, for the World Cup.
It's so
crazy. How does it
so
feel?
Good. I got family over this weekend, or seeing them. Oh,
how's it feel to have your people, come to your hometown and tap out all of your beer?
It's great. It's like finding out you have a cousin and then they're actually chill as hell. I love them.
Yeah, man, I don't blame you, bro. It seemed lit. I was seeing mad clips of the Scottish people being like, "Oh my gosh, yeah, we drank all just having so much fun, especially during the Haiti game for the World Cup. They're having a lot of fun with the Haitians and stuff." And then there's like, "Yeah, we're drinking so much," but then all they had was we drank them dry to the point where all they had was Bud Light. And we're not gonna drink that shit. I thought it was hilarious. I was like, that's I can respect that. So shout out to Scotland. Shout out to Boston. Didn't your mayor make declare like Boston as like the sister city to Scotland? I think.
Yeah, she signed it last like 2 days ago, I think.
That's fucking awesome, bro. That's sick. Yeah, but yeah. So other than that, the World Cup's happening. So if y'all got your teams, I'm not gonna tell you who to support, but if y'all got your teams, hopefully y'all go all the way. Me personally, Congo. That is my team right now because that's my sister country. Because Tanzania can never play in the World Cup because we're too poor to do it. So, gotta go with the Congo. It just makes sense. But lastly, I'll get out for my other before we start. A huge, historical occasion happened over the weekend. I feel like Rebecca and Seamus know what's coming. Because a little fun fact about me: I'm originally from New York, live in PA. Originally from New York, and over the weekend was the last was the fifth game of the NBA Finals against the Knicks, New York Knicks. Shout out to the Knicks and the Spurs, and we are officially champions. We haven't won a Knicks game. We haven't won a final since 1973. We haven't been in a championship since 99, the year Rebecca and I were born. So we literally are as old as the last time the Knicks were in the finals. So first I'll drop a clues bomb to the Knicks. Drop a clues bomb. I'll drop mad clues bomb. Drop a clues bomb to the Knicks. Drop a clues bomb to Coach Mike Brown. Drop a clues bomb to Jalen Brunson and Kat and Josh Hart and Mikal Bridges. All of them. The entire goddamn team. We fucking did it. I was so happy. Yeah, man, it was a good ass time, bro. It was a good ass. I wish I made the parade, but I didn't want to die. So there was that. But yeah, man, shout out to the Knicks. But real quick though, this is specifically for Wemby. Fuck you, dead ass. Fuck you. You're a bitch. I have no respect for you whatsoever. Talented ass player, but you're dirty. You're dirty French bag ass back to fucking France, my nigga, for real. Like, don't play that shit in New York ever again. I swear to God. If you do that shit again, Wemby, if I ever see your ass in New York, if I'm ever in New York, if I'm ever in the city, if you do that shit again, I will pull my fucking pants down, take a squat, shit in my own fucking hand, and throw that shit at you, chim style. Shout out to Speed Racer, for real. Dead ass. I'm not playing with that shit. I'm not playing with that shit, bro. You know the eggs were worse, bro? Chim cookie, my nigga, for real. Dusty, dirty ass Frenchman. I swear to God, bro. Like, it dead ass pissed me off. Do that shit to Jalen again. It's on site. It's on site. Swear to God. Words to my mother. It's gonna be a fucking problem. Yeah. So that's it. I gotta get my New York out. Just real quick. But again, go Knicks. Shout out to Kuzma and Knicks. Shout out to Carver's word. He's like, yeah, NYC, baby. Talk to him like, bro. Come on now, bro. You already know. You already know, bro. Oh man, but yeah. All right. So let's get to now let's simmer down. Let's cool down.
Yeah, go Celtics.
Real quick, so to start off our first topic again, it's not really a simmer down, but it's a little heated because Seamus sent this to me, earlier today, on Snap, and apparently Rebecca. It's wild. It's not really wild. It's kind of suspect at this point, but Marvel fucked up. Another artist called them out. It's crazy. It's crazy. Last time this happened, we talked about it when it was Dustin Nguyen, and it trended, and there was a big discussion and debate about artists being paid in Marvel. No matter just Marvel, but just like the big two in general, and how they deal with work for hire and then their talent. But Seamus, man, thank you for sending me this because I thought it was cool to talk about. But apparently, Greg Capullo, the legend on Spawn, Batman, with Scott Snyder, and also Scott, he tweeted that, and I'll read verbatim. It says, "My longtime friend and inker." Shout out to the inkers out there. Shout out to I was about to say the tracers. Shout out to Chasing Amy, but shout out to the inkers. Jonathan Glampian, despite my intervention, cannot get paid for work rendered months ago from one of the big two. Hint, it ain't DC. Just outrageous, shameful, totally unacceptable. Posted that at 1:36 on June 18th, so yesterday, with 35.3K views. Seamus, is that still the same number, or did it go up?
It went up. It did go up. It probably I think doubled.
Oh shit. Okay, yeah. So it went viral as it does, and yeah, it's just sad that Marvel is now messing with the inkers too. First was the pencilers, now the inkers. Seamus, Rebecca, what are your thoughts on this?
I can't say I'm too surprised. Both, well, the industry as a whole, but particularly Marvel and DC, and in this case particularly Marvel, have been screwing over their artists and writers for a long time. So I feel like anything they can keep pay from people, they will do if they think they can get away with it, which sucks, but
yeah,
it's not like they haven't done this in the past.
What about you, Seamus? What do you think about this? I know we talked about it briefly, but
it's the most unsurprising thing that Marvel's despite being owned by $1 billion company, is still struggling to pay the people who do the work for them. It tracks. Marvel's really shitty right now. It's really rough. So I'm not really surprised that they're also having this kind of controversy too.
Yeah, no, for real. It's sad to hear that an artist, inker, isn't getting what they're worth, or just straight up not getting paid by one of the big two, especially Marvel. Apparently, from when that post from Dustin Nguyen went viral, apparently it was kind of favored, and it's kind of funny that Greg Capullo even here essentially straight up, it was just said it was Marvel without saying it's Marvel. But apparently DC doesn't have this much of an issue, even though they're also, I'm not saying DC is completely guilt free, doesn't have problems over there as well. But yeah, it just seems it's Marvel, not surprised. It's a multi-billion dollar, it's owned by a multi-billion-dollar corporation that will do everything it takes to have maximum output with less of the cost. So it's unfortunate. I mean, hopefully this goes viral and it gets to this all gets sorted out quick. So yeah, man. And I looked up Glampian's work, and he did a lot of stuff. A lot of well-known stuff from Marvel and DC both. Yeah, I saw some Superman, some Batman, I saw some Spawn. So yeah, and very talented. So yeah, listen, shout out to you, bro. Hopefully this gets worked out soon. Marvel again, like you're not gonna be making the you might not be making the list for best publisher next year, bro. For real, like it's just like Marvel and DC both.
Has Marvel responded to this yet?
I have no idea because I'm not on the Tesla Nazi app like Seamus is, so like I don't know exactly.
Yeah, hi, I'm on the Tesla Nazi app, and no, it's they haven't responded.
That's yeah. So we'll see. I mean, I haven't checked Instagram either. I mean, I'm surprised. I'm surprised. Like I haven't seen like comic book like on thread like the comics threads or anyone talk about this on Instagram yet. So I don't know, but hopefully this does go, blows up. It starts that more of that conversation from like last time, and it'll get more attention to get this sorted because it's fucked up. I mean, inkers are just important as the illustrators. You can't have a comic book without the inker. So hopefully, bro, this gets sorted out. All right. So next topic, real quick. So we're gonna be going into some more comic book news. Over the weekend was Heroes Con, which is a convention in I believe it's in Charleston, South Carolina. I think that's where it is. No, North Carolina. Sorry, Charlotte, North Carolina. None of y'all have been, Rebecca or Seamus?
Nope.
No.
Okay, yeah, neither have I. Ever since I've been doing conventions as an artist, that was the convention I've always heard to go to because it's huge and it's one of the rare conventions where it's huge and focuses on like comics and creators for like only. Like they don't know sponsorships, no TV movie stuff, it's just straight comic books and comic book creators through and through. That's it. And I heard it's a lot of fun. I heard it's a great convention. But Scott Snyder, known for Batman, and now recently, the Absolute DC stuff, being one of the helms of Absolute DC, did a panel, which I'm gonna find to check out exactly. I don't know exactly what it was on. I think it was probably like Absolute DC stuff. From real quick, so are you gonna talk about the second brand new day trailer? Yes, we are, and then later on, it's coming. Don't worry, it's coming. We gotta get to the comic book news first. But he did a panel with Nick Dragata, shout out to him as well, about plans for Absolute Batman, and they revealed that with Absolute Batman 24, which comes out in September, because right now we're on issue 21 of 21, like just came out.
Yeah.
And they revealed that there's going to be someone taking up a Bat mantle, and that person is going to be none other than Barbara Gordon, taking up the mantle of Absolute Batgirl, aka the Bat, in Absolute Batman number 24. And I think it's great. I think that's such a great announcement. They dropped the cover. They dropped some concept artwork and sketches that Dragata did, and So I mean, just to hear some quotes. Just some quotes from Nick Dragata and Scott Snyder. But Nick Dragata is saying that in the conversation that everyone else is Barbara knows Batman didn't kill her father. She's going to grab her dad's coat. We've seen Bruce hanging up. He's going down the spiral from the Scarecrow. Barbara's going to take the mission into her own hands to avenge her father. She's got this great story. She's going to be the Bat. Her day job is a cop, but at night she'll have to go outside the law to get things done. But she still has this core. It almost feels more Batman than Batman. And I mean, that's what Dragata said. Snyder's saying, quote, "This character story has been there from Nick since forever. We've been talking about it since 24. It really comes to head here. We wanted her to kind of come up under her father and her time at the police, at the GCPD. She sees all these things that are wrong with everywhere for her. There's her father, but there's tremendous corruption, and so she goes outside that. One of the fun things is she fights differently. And so in terms of the shotgun, you might recognize that from the very first issue we did. Bruce repurposed Alfred's shotgun to be this bat shotgun that fires electric mini batarang pellets. So that is completely non-lethal, at the same time super badass. Yeah. So what do you guys think of this announcement? I think this is really cool because I've been reading Batman since it started. We've talked about it in our many After Darks on this podcast, and I'm very excited to see this evolution with Barbara. Cause I've been liking Barbara, so far in the Absolute Universe. So what do y'all think?
I think this is cool. I'll be honest. I need to pick up Absolute Batman again, and I probably will for reasons we'll talk about in a little bit. But it's always good to see Barbara, and it's going to be cool to see what they're doing with her here. It sounds like you said, like she's going to be maybe a slightly more aligned with the traditional kind of Batman thing.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll wait and see.
Seamus?
I fucking love this design, dude.
It's great. and real quick,
what's funny about it is that it really does prove that they were right in the 90s where they go, put a trench coat over it and it'll be the coolest fucking thing you've ever seen. And that was the peak of comics, I think. That was it. And I think that this proves that. Because that is, look at that shit. Oh my God, dude.
Yeah,
That's
man.
so good.
It looks great. And I love the fact, because we have seen Batman once, spoiler alert, but which I should have said that earlier, but like James Gordon is dead. And Batman hung his coat while he was doing an investigation to figure out who killed him. Clearly was Scarecrow related. But I love the fact that that's going to be a part of her costume as an homage to her father, and that they added the bat little talon things that Bruce has on his cape, on his version of the cape, to the jacket. And that's insane. That's such a crazy design, and it kind of I think it's kind of smart the way because she has this massive trench coat on, and she's a little more bulkier. You can't really tell that that it's kind of ambiguous on the gender of who this is. You can really tell that it's gonna be a little hard for people to figure out that it's her because mostly I think it's a guy. I think it's a male. So I kind of like there's kind of an androgyny to it. But yeah, it's great design. And it's very, and it feels like gonna be very more of more of the Batman that we're familiar with. With Barbara as the Bat here. I think it's a really great idea, and I'm very excited to check it out. It's gonna be coming out in September. Sometime in September. So we have a few months. But yeah. Any more y'all want to say on this at all, or are y'all good?
That's all I got for now.
Yeah, for now that's all I got. Yeah,
I like this evolution of Babs' character, at least from. It was cool watching her in the Ivy arc run around and try to help Bruce. While Bruce
I was about to say the same thing. I thought we've gotten bits and pieces of her throughout the course of the story, but I feel like she really shined in that Ivy arc. That Snyder and Eric Canetti did together. I thought that was great. So yeah. We'll run into it. They probably what was called Karl Marx saying they probably will. Marshall, not gonna lie, I loved it. How about you? I don't know what he's saying. What's Marshall? Oh, I don't get it. Retype that Karl Marx and get back to us on that because I don't know what you mean. But yeah. All right. So next topic is another comic book related one. So obviously another big announcement that I want to talk about. Me and Seamus, we're big. And I guess I don't know about Rebecca as well, but we're Zdarsky fans up in here in Indy. We glaze Zdarsky. He is one of my favorite writers in comics right now. Known for Sex Criminals, Daredevil, which again one of the best Daredevil runs probably ever. Spider-Man Life Stories, Spider-Man. His Batman run. Well-known writer, poppin', fantastic. And it just got announced recently that he as well as his collaborator on Daredevil, Marko Checchetto, amazing artist, are going to be coming back together to do Avengers. They're going to be a part of the Avengers relaunch, the new Avengers #1, and I am very excited because as you can see here, people, if I full screen it right quick, we are going to be going back to something very familiar. We are going to be going back to what it looks like, some more new Avengers kind of action going on, from the Bendis run back in the day. Know what I mean? Because we got here on this cover reveal, it says Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Survivors, and we have Carol Danvers, Luke Cage, Wolverine, Spider-Man, and I believe pretty much making his debut, you know, on the Avengers roster is our boy, our GOAT, Daredevil, Matt Murdock. So yeah, you know, drop a clues bomb for Zdarsky for, you know, being the fucking GOAT, you know. Yeah, what do y'all think about this? Because for me, I haven't really cared much about the Avengers title as of late. I mean, what almost made me get in there was when they had Storm on the team recently. But I think Jason Aaron's Avengers really ruined me to the point where I was like done with the line. Done with the main continuity line. I mean, the only Avengers related thing I read was like recently was Avengers Twilight by Chip Zdarsky as well, which I really enjoyed. But yeah, I'm excited for this shit, dude. I'm gonna definitely check out the first issue. What do y'all think? Seamus, what do you think, bro?
Yeah, this is, you know, I think Chip Zdarsky has made a career out of reheating Bendis's nachos, so to speak. And he's good at it, and he makes good stories. It is like, you know, very much echoes of Bendis, and I think that this kind of leans into that idea. But Zdarsky has always been a very good Bendis-like writer who like doesn't fall into the same traps a lot of the lesser inspirations of like Bendis have kind of fallen into in the past. So I think this is good. I like the roster a lot. It's all characters like, you know, that I know Chip Zdarsky would write very fun and well. So
yeah,
hopefully this is a good book that's free of any more event bullshit, even though it's spinning out of a bullshit event.
Yeah. So, Rebecca, what do you think?
I think to follow up on Seamus, they're never free from event bullshit. There's always going to be something like that. I think the team, it looks like from the cover, it's a little more like street level oriented.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping they like keep the characters in line with it and don't go too big too fast. So maybe that's kind of the angle they're going with switching it up. I feel like writing Avengers in general at this point in time is almost a thankless job in that it's kind of always there and no one really cares about it that much. So best of luck to him. I hope he knocks it out of the park.
Yeah, I'm with y'all. I mean, it's kind of nice to kind of like go back to like, you know, like street level heroes, which are my personal favorite heroes to read in Marvel, to be on the Avengers again, since again we haven't seen that since Bendis' new Avengers. I just love that like it's like 4 street level dudes. Well, yeah, I would also consider Wolverine, I guess, kind of street level, and like then Carol Danvers is like a freaking powerhouse. So it's like it's kind of funny that like I hope she's gonna be like the mom figure of like everybody else. And yeah, but like, and it's kind of wild because seeing Daredevil here at first, I was like, Daredevil on the Avengers? I'm used to Daredevil just being on his own, or just with like, you know, more street level teams. But the fact that Zdarsky using it as an excuse to write more Daredevil again, I'm kind of here for it. So, so yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to this for sure. But yeah, I don't really think they really dropped any info about what it's going to be about. Just mostly, I think mostly just dropped a statement, just like mostly focusing on the team. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah, I don't really know when. I don't even think they really dropped I don't even know if they dropped a date. They said like the Path to Avengers comes out. Avengers #1 comes out with starts with Armageddon, which is already out right now. Avengers Armageddon, the new event right now, by Zdarsky. So yeah, I'm really excited. I think I'm really excited for this. I'm definitely gonna check out the first issue for sure. Yeah. Any more thoughts before we move on to the next topic?
Okay.
Okay, bet. Also, I just figured out what Karl Marx was saying. He was saying Martrell, because Martrell was the other commentator commenting, and he asked him how the trailer was for Spider-Man and what he thought, and Martrell thought it was great. Which we'll get into in a bit. But yeah. All right, so we'll get on to the next topic. All right, so moving on. As always, people, if you're new to us, I mean, if you've been rocking with us for a while, you already know about this. But if you're new to us, you understand that, you know, we're Invincible fans up in here. At least me and Seamus are. I know Rebecca just rolls her eyes every time we mention Invincible because we love it so much. But yeah, you know, we're big Invincible fans up in here. Yesterday, for people that don't know, they dropped a character trailer for the first season 1 character in Invincible Versus, which is a new fighting game that's been out. for the past few months that has been making waves in the fighting game community because it looks very good. I know Seamus, you've been playing it, right? You've been getting into it in that game.
Well, it's very fun. It's one of my favorite 2D fighters that have been released in the past couple of years. I think it's between that and like Street Fighter 6, honestly.
Absolutely, but they just dropped their first they dropped the first DLC character for their season 1 drop, and that character is none other than Universa. Who was just in the most recent season of Invincible, I believe Danai Guerrera played her as well. Shout out to Danai Guerrera. Just real quick, if we'll just react to the trailer because I have not seen it. I know Seamus, you probably have. Rebecca, you probably didn't. So sorry in advance. So we'll react to this character trailer real quick. We'll give our thoughts and then we'll just move on. All right, so here we go. Sorry. Ooh, that's crazy. All right. You got some good doubles. Yo, she got some crazy juggles.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Damn.
Cool.
All right. That was
I
that.
can't believe fucking Immortal Man's DLC. That's so fucked.
I know.
I do not want to pay for Immortal Man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's crazy. I also agree. He should have just been like a straight like launch drop, like immediate there's a launch drop straight up. But yeah, no, she looks dope. She looks cool.
Yeah,
really good juggles. Like she's gonna be a juggle type character for sure.
Yeah.
That drain move she has, where she drains a part of your health, that's gonna be broken. That's gonna be abused. But yeah, no, she looks like a fun character. Definitely. I don't know if I played her. I don't know if like she would be my part of my main 3. But I mean, I wouldn't mind giving her a try though. She seems fun.
Yeah.
But Seamus, what do you think as the expert who's played the game?
She looks fun. I'm a whore for a rushdown character. I'm gonna be honest with you. I love a rushdown juggler like that, and I'm gonna be very happy with that. She probably will be in my top 3 based on how she looks. Because I just already like a character like that. So yeah.
Yeah, I got you. Rebecca, any thoughts? Or no thoughts at all?
You know I don't have thoughts. I don't play this game. When I do play fighting games, I'm a button masher. So if you're into this, cool.
Oh my god, that's so funny. That's so funny. Okay, all right, anyway, that's our thoughts on Universa and Invincible Versus. I think she believes she's coming out. I think they're both coming out June 30th, so I'm expecting another trailer for Immortal if we haven't got one already. So all right, so that is that. All right, so just to know, from video games back to comics again, just the last comic book topic that we have. So obviously, people, you know that Marvel, recently is ending, their Ultimate Universe, the Ultimate Universe that Jonathan Hickman started, that had a great start and a meh finish. We talked about it a bunch on previous podcasts. Me and Seamus have complained and and just agree that ending the Ultimate Universe now was a mistake, including editorial decision, not Hickman or any of the creative decisions. Yeah, but it's okay, guys. Shout out real quick. Shout out to Carl Marty saying this game enrages me because they're hella rage quitters. Seamus, can you confirm?
There are it's a bunch of casual heads who they don't know that you're supposed to play 3 games in a row together. You know what I mean? Like, it's courteous to them. They just they'll rage quit, they'll dip out, and you'll be like, fuck, man. I'm just like, can I just get one full game in? But playing the game itself when you're doing like an arcade mode is so fun. Or when you're doing versus against like couch co-op head or something, that's fun. But when it's online, some of those guys, you're like, all right.
Well, yeah, okay. You heard it, folks. More of the story: stop being pussies. Yeah, just straight up, stop being fucking pussies. All right. Yeah. Well, back to what I was saying. But so Marvel's ending the Ultimate Universe, sadly, which sucks because they have to still compete with the Absolute Universe, which is Absolute DC, which has been crushing it over the past almost 2 years now at this point. But it's okay, guys, because they're bringing us another line that seems to be, from what we can appear to be, from what it looks like, is going to be the contender to the Absolute Universe. It's going to be Absolute Marvel, essentially. It's going to be Marvel's version of the Absolute Universe. And they're titling it Marvel Midnight. And if you think it's called Midnight because of the Midnight Suns, which clearly sounds like it just writes itself, you're wrong. It is not involving the Midnight Suns, which made me really sad and upset because, like, I call it Midnight. Well, I call it Marvel Midnight if you're not going to incorporate the Midnight Suns. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? But yeah, this is going to be Marvel's new line that's going to be kind of more horror-centric. It's going to be more horror-focused. It's going to be more darker, like grittier, scarier. I remember the tagline for the event when they announced when they announced that the event was happening, it was like midnight, and then it said the light had its turn. I'm just like, ooh, edgy, scary. What could that mean? So yeah, then they dropped the first cover, which was for Midnight X-Men, and it dropped a really cool cover by D. Caruan. Shout out D. Caruan, dope cover artist. And today they dropped the covers for 2 more titles, which we knew of, but we didn't know the covers for yet. And let me just get to my slides right quick. But yeah, so we get the covers for Midnight Fantastic Four and Midnight Spider-Man. And here are the really new release covers. Terrifying. Well, absolute. Midnight Fantastic Four looks interesting. Midnight Spider-Man looks fucking terrifying, and I'm here for it. I don't know if you went on the website, but like they're doing like a weird like crop thing where like only like there was like most of the covers were like in black, but there was like a little sliver of the cover showing. So they for the Midnight Spider-Man one, they only showed like the right side of it. They only showed the right side of his chest, so it looked like it had something like that red and like that black and like the black silhouette of the spider looked like a weird. It looked kind of like a nod to like the normal Spider-Man look. But then when they revealed the other side, you're like, holy shit, scared the crap out of me. I was like, I'm here for it. Really gross. But yeah, people said these are the official covers for the new launch titles for Midnight Marvel Midnight X-Men, Midnight Fantastic Four, Midnight Spider-Man, and I have the article up, so I'm just gonna read it real quick. But Midnight X-Men, which we already knew about previously, is gonna be written by Jonathan Hickman, with art by Matteo Delafonte. And pretty much the synopsis is: the shadows of New York City are stalked by vampires and mutant empires. The sword of Damocles hangs over the peace between these two species and the factions within them. An outright war is brewing, and the unturned will be caught in the crossfire. Hickman said, with a quote, what they said: "I haven't been this excited about a book in a very long time. There are certain kinds of products that I think most fans prefer for me to be working on. Ambitious stories with intricate plots and long-form payoffs, which is exactly what Midnight X-Men is." He's like, I was very excited when Marvel told me that revamp plans for the Midnight launch, because when I read both Ben and Phil's first scripts even more than that, when the art started rolling in, I knew that this line was going to be something special because I know they delayed it for a little bit. It's supposed to come a little earlier, well, they delayed a bit. But yeah, so Midnight X-Men being released on October 7th. What do you guys think, Rebecca? Just say Ultimate X-Men. Let's start Midnight X-Men first. What do y'all think?
X-Men, I think, well, just in general, I think all these concepts seem cool. I don't really love the idea, just in general, of Marvel, like, trying to more or less copy the Absolute line, even because that was kind of already what they were, like, more or less competing against with Ultimates. Mm-hmm. And I think that I'm not confident in Marvel's ability to actually stick with a storyline, even if it's doing well, because, like you said, they just canceled Ultimates.
Yeah.
So I think there's potential for good storytelling here. Hickman is a good writer, and like I said, the concept for all of these seems pretty fun. So I think it will be interesting too to see like where this kind of slots in as like an Elseworld story. Like, are they starting from scratch, or are they starting from a certain like jumping off point in the established X-Men? Mm-hmm. But I think too, this coming out in October, this will be a fun Halloween series, something a little spookier. And yeah, so I might check it out, and hopefully it's a good run and they can stick with it as long as it's successful.
Yes, ma'am. Seamus, what are your thoughts on Midnight X-Men from what I've read and all that stuff?
Weird. Very weird. You know, none of this is bad, but it just feels like odd. It feels like they saw how well the body horror of Absolute Batman was selling, and they were like, no, wait, we need to be doing that. Hold. You know, and I think that, you know, it's not like these books are going to be bad. They'll probably be good. They'll probably be fun at least, you know. Mm-hmm. It's just that it's a weird concept, a weird design, and it's coming directly in the wake of them killing like a beloved
universe. Yeah.
You know? Yeah. So it's just a very weird time. And even like, I saw the quote Philip Kennedy Johnson gave about Midnight Spider-Man. And it was like, he was like pitching it to be like, don't worry, guys, this one isn't going to get canceled 20 issues in. You know what I mean? And I'm already like, okay, so this really is a very reactive line they're launching. That doesn't feel like they're like, you know, what would be a very interesting, you know, line to launch. Instead, they're like, wait, this has everything that's popular right now. You know what I mean?
I also don't understand, like, if we're going to say we're giving Spider-Man a 20-issue plus run, that's awesome. Great for the writer and the artist and all that. Yeah. Why were we doing that with our mainline books? You know, ones that are like Spider-Man and X-Men.
True. Yeah, it's when this. I mean, I'll go through the other, you know, creative teams and the, you know, synopsis for the other books. But I remember when this was announced, when we figured out what it was, because again, when they announced like we're doing Midnight, we didn't know what it was until they revealed it. But it really felt like when y'all canceled the Ultimate Universe, realized it was a mistake due to the backlash of all the fans being like, why the fuck did you cancel this book? And then we're like, oh, we've got to come up with something quick to reel them back in. Oh wait, we love the Absolute Universe so much because, you know, that was our competitor. What let's just do that. Let's just do what they're doing. Let's do what Absolute Batman is, what Seamus said, the body horror, the horror, the episode on the horror and the body horror stuff, and just do that with these characters instead of like kind of reel us back in. It feels desperate. It feels very desperate. And yeah, I don't know. But real quick, just to go through the other creative teams. So Midnight Fantastic Four is be written by Benjamin Percy with art and cover by Kev Walker. And I remember reading this before, but it says an obsessive scientist delves into the secrets of the universe, perhaps best left unknown to mankind, leaving himself and three others warped in strange and horrifying ways. What horrible secrets lie in the new dimensions they have discovered, and can humanity survive the discovery? And Percy said, quote, let's be honest, any other circumstances, Marvel wouldn't let me write Fantastic Four because I'm too mean and evil for the first family. But this is the dark continuity of the Midnight Universe, a fresh origin story for the characters that channels cosmic Lovecraftian terror, which makes it a perfect match for me. Mad science and cults and hidden realities wait. The pacing is patient and full of dread and mystery and rich with a mythology that will feel both familiar and uncanny, end quote. Yeah, A Midnight Fantastic Four. I didn't really know when it was announced originally without the cover and this description. I didn't really know what to expect, but I kind of am interested. But it looks very like it's gonna be very like Eldritch, Lovecraftian kind of vibes with the Fantastic Four. Because you kind of see like a little bit like an Eldritch monster there. You kind of seeing like a version of Doom on the right there. And I hope really they go into the kind of the obsession of Reed that that we get hints in and elements of sometimes in the main continuity of this, but like this is him going too far with his obsession to discovery for science and discovery to the point where it horribly affects the people he cares about with Sue, Ben, and Johnny. So yeah, that's gonna be interesting. What are y'all thoughts on Midnight Fantastic Four real quick for that description in the quote?
I think it'll all be worth it if they make Annihilus a Cthulhu-like giant Lovecraftian villain. I think if Benjamin Percy does that, I'll be like a fucking 8-year-old and be like, you know what I mean? I'll do that. It'll be cool, and I'll be like, fuck. It sounds cool. Like this one and X-Men both sound like they have really cool pitches. Like they're not uninteresting. It's just like, okay, weird. Sure, I'll check it out. That sounds funky. It sounds like whenever someone is like, there's a new Avengers versus Aliens comic, and you're like, oh, weird. I'll read it though, I guess. But I saw I don't know if the picture of I saw another picture of the what they look like after they're transformed.
Oh, really? Was it official?
I don't know if it's real or not, but it looks funky.
Interesting. Yeah.
They don't look too far off their mainline universe counterparts, honestly.
Okay. We'll probably wait and see, but until it comes out. Rebecca, you have anything you want to say on Midnight Fantastic Four at all? Does that pique your interest from what I read the synopsis?
Like I said, I think if you're going to do a horror interpretation of the Fantastic Four, cosmic horror, body horror, kind of the two obvious paths to go, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I do think, like Seamus said, that's interesting. I think you can have a lot of fun with that concept. How long you can go with it, we will have to wait and see.
Yep. And this releases same day, same time, October 7th. This gets released. And lastly, which is the one I'm my favorite one, I'm gonna actually definitely check out for sure. Midnight Spider-Man #1, written by Philip Kennedy Johnson with art by Siatrunk. I cannot say this name, so I apologize if I mispronounce it. And covered by Steve Beach. A young Peter Parker is transformed into a hideous spider hybrid by the ruthless Oscorp Corporation in a pursuit for eternal life. When Oscorp begins to use the secrets unlocked by his mutation to create more human-animal hybrids, Peter embraces a grotesque new form to stop them. And it says, quote, Marvel's putting a ton of trust in Siatrunk and me on this project, and we're using that trust to make big ass and take big creative risks, and want to see a Spider-Man that was conceived by H.R. Geiger, directed by David Cronenberg, adapted for the comic book page by Junji Ito. I want Peter's origin to be so upsetting it haunts me, and to see the Lizard and Dr. Octopus through the lens of John Carpenter's movie, of a John Carpenter movie or a Resident Evil game. I'm stoked. So I'm so stoked for readers to see what we're making. End quote. Yeah. So I remember when this was announced and we got that original synopsis without the cover, I was like, we've seen Spider-Man gone wrong before. I mean, I'm a fan of Spider-Man gone wrong. I'm a Spider-Man fan. Shout out to Spider-Man because hilarious character. And we've seen, having, stuff like Man Spider in the past. I'm also a fan of Ultimate Clone Saga. There's a character in the Ultimate Clone Saga that is a Spider-Man gone wrong type of character as well. So I was like, oh, this sounds interesting, but I'm not really buying it until they dropped this cover down. I was like, I'm in. Yep, give it to me. Steve Beach, bro. I this is my first introduction to your work. You're doing a crazy ass job. Disgusting. Ugh! This and I love the fact that, again, it's when they did that little teaser of the cover, you only saw the right side. The right side has that more reddish hue and that black silhouette of the spider, so it looks more of a familiar look, like the Spider-Man look. But then goes to the left side, and it's no, this spider is merged onto Peter's body. It's crazy. So yeah, guys, what are your thoughts on Midnight Spider-Man? After seeing the cover now, the plot, and also the quote from Phil Kennedy Johnson.
I think of the three, this is probably, like you said, the least interesting off the bat of the concepts, because we have seen similar things done in mainline Spider-Man before, not to the same degree. I think this is probably going to be a book that lives and dies by the art more so than the plot. I think as long as the art's strong, then it should be okay. But I still think there's interesting ways to go with it. It's just not something that's as different from what we had in the past.
Seamus, what do you think?
It's so funny he was listing all those horror references, and he seemed like he was dancing around referencing Sam Raimi at all, which is funny.
Yeah, crazy, right?
You know what I mean? You'd think you'd want to reference the other horror guy who did Spider-Man, but yeah, up to you. Yeah, it sounds like interesting and fun, and like, again, I'm not blown away by it, but I'm also just like, it sounds fun and interesting. It'll probably be fine. I'll probably read a bit of it and go like, this is cool. And then like, my only issue is like, I can't see it running like 50 issues.
Right.
Yeah.
This doesn't seem like a lot of books, a book that has a lot of legs to it in terms of like where you could really go from there. But, I would like to be proved wrong. Hopefully it is an incredible book. And I'm like, I'm really glad this went 50 issues, but who knows? The art does look insane. That cover's fucking crazy. I would never buy that cover, but I really am glad that cover exists because it's really cool.
And granted, like, we're judging most of these off of the cover art. I know for Midnight Fantastic 4, the artist is also doing the interior, so that's what it's gonna look like. But for Midnight Spider-Man and Midnight X-Men, like, we don't know what the interiors are gonna look like. So like the cover may look great for Midnight Spider-Man, but the interiors may make or break, but I'm not familiar with the artist's work, so I'll probably give him a look after this. But I mean, overall with this whole line, I mean, reeks of desperation to me. I mean, y'all had something great with the Ultimate Universe and should have just kept it going, because it was competing more than your main continuity books with the absolute DC right now. But listen, and these, I mean, like what Seamus says, it doesn't sound like these have longevity. This is giving like miniseries vibe, but it seems like just hella temporary. But we could be proven wrong. But again, the fact that these are coming out on October kind of really, like, I think what Rebecca mentioned, like, kind of helps. But yeah, it's like, something spooky to read during spooky season, So I'm definitely gonna check out all of these first issues for sure. And then I'll just make my judgment from there, and we'll see. But yeah, that's all I gotta say. Anything else? Anyone else want to say on Midnight, my Marvel Midnight?
Nope.
All right, yeah. So people, it comes out. All three books come out October 7th of this year. So get your pre-orders in. Just to remind people that pre-orders matter in terms of comic book sales. So get your pre-orders in. Yeah. So that's on that. So all right, moving on to the next topic. So now we're going to be getting to some of the trailers that have dropped over the past few days. I know for a fact actually, I have two trailers for one thing, but because we have something up, one thing that's coming up next month. Actually, both these things come out next month. But we're gonna be talking real quick about X-Men 97 Season 2, which obviously people have watched other After Darks. We love X-Men 97. There's a dedicated review for X-Men 97 Season 1. Please go check that out. I'll probably link it in the corner once this video is this live is ended. I'll put it in the corner. Love X-Men 97. Think it's one of the best X-Men adaptations we've ever gotten, in my opinion. I think it's fantastic. And obviously there was controversy with the showrunner, and the head writer, getting fired, and have that, and there was that drama. But it's back. It comes out, I believe, July 1st. And yeah, I wanted to play the trailer with y'all real quick. But first off, real quick, Rebecca, Seamus, what are your thoughts on X-Men 97? Just to give just real before we get into it.
I really enjoyed the first season. I didn't watch too much of the original show. Growing up, I've just seen like a few episodes here and there, but I thought the first season, 97, was enjoyable on its own with my very limited X-Men knowledge.
Fair enough. Seamus? We already know we love it. You love it, bro. we already know.
As a kid, the 4 shows that my parents would get on they get bootleg DVDs. And the 4 shows I would get were X-Men 97, 90s Spider-Man, Batman the Animated Series, and the Incredible Hulk cartoon. And those are like my 4 shows when I was really little.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been watching it since I was a kid, and I think that the revival they did was very good. Mm-hmm. It was very fun. It was very well written. I really liked where they were going with it. And I'm very glad that they stuck adamantly to using X-Men 97 continuity. You know what I mean? They weren't like, no, we're just like adapting the comics now. You know what I mean? They were like, no, that some of those weird changes we made in the cartoon are staying. Sorry. Yeah. And I was like, yeah. You know what? It makes it feel more authentic of a sequel than like if they started changing stuff. But
and that was one of the best parts of it was the fact that I also grew up watching the old the 90s 96 cartoon, but I also love the fact that not only they stick to their own continuity from the show, but they also paid homage and paid respect to that 90s era, like Chris Claremont, Jim Lee era of comics. I thought it was fantastic, and with this season, it looks like they're going to be going through even more notable X-Men runs and eras as well. So it's gonna be exciting. So real quick, we're gonna watch this trailer. We're gonna watch this trailer, and we're gonna watch the little 1 minute thing they did a little tease that they just dropped 2 days ago. But yeah, so without further ado, people, let me just get this set up. And some quality up. The fuck? Oh, so we're not gonna have technical difficulties now. That's crazy. The Knicks just won. Why are we doing this? All right. So, without further ado, trailer for X-Men 97. Oh, Gambit. My boy. I'm so happy we're doing Age of Apocalypse. Oh, God.
I don't know anything about that storyline outside of that movie.
Fair. Polaris.
Disrupting the circuit should open the door.
Looks so good. Oh, shoot. Amazing songs. Ooh, definitely. Sick.
It's weird to see Wolverine smile like that.
I know, right? Like I love the fact that it's like holy shit, they're doing the cover. It's crazy, but yeah. So I mean, I'll go full screen so we can break it down. I'm very excited. Looks like there's gonna be a lot more stakes in this, which is crazy because there were hella stakes in the last season. Especially when they did Nimrod and not Nimrod, sorry, but Seamus, remind me, I'm blanking. What was the X-Men event with the Sentinels? Shit.
What's his name? The weird sun dude who turns into Techno Man, and he starts reviving Sentinels and bullshit.
Yeah, listen, we know ball. I
was gonna say, I want to say it was Executioner's song.
Yeah, Executioner's song. I think it was Executioner's song. Could be wrong, but that was great to see in last season. But yeah,
That was
but
ridiculous because like in the comics that arc is not that good, but like they kind of made it lit in this series, and I was like, damn.
But yeah. That was great to see. But like here, going straight Age of Apocalypse, because Apocalypse was teased at the end of this first season, and I love the fact that I said it before when we did our review, but the fact that we're going to be seeing three sides of Apocalypse. We're going to be seeing Apocalypse with some of the X-Men that are in the past. We're going to see some of the Apocalypse in the present day, because we saw him in Genosha lifting up Gambit's Ace of Spades card in the present, and then we're going to be focusing on Apocalypse in the future during the Age of Apocalypse storyline, which it looks like with some of the X-Men that are in the future. So timeless space X-Men, but in three eras of Apocalypse. I think that's a great idea. And yeah, it's gonna be good. And Seamus, I don't know about you, Rebecca, I don't know about you, but like I think they're saving Gambit as death for like the reveal for the show. They're not gonna show him at all. Because they teased him being resurrected as death as one of Apocalypse's horsemen at the end of X-Men 97 season 1. So they're gonna save that for season 2, like when the show starts. I don't think we're gonna see the trailers, him in trailing trailers or anything like that. But yeah, this looks dope, man. I mean, it looks. I mean, the fact that we're seeing, some great. I love the character designs. I mean, we're getting a lot. It looks like we're gonna get some like some Grant Morrison costumes from his era of X-Men. And we got Jean, Scott, because they're in the future, and we get introduced to Nathan, young Nathan Summers, who's being played by Michael Johnson from Obsession, who plays Bear. He's voicing Nathan in this. I think that's great. I think he's a really good actor. So yeah, there's that. And we get to see the roster. We get to see. I'm so happy to see Bishop again, because seeing Bishop in season 1 was dope, but they teased a bigger role from him from next season. With the time travel stuff. So that's gonna be dope. And this is during the past. So I remember, this roster got sent back to the past, and we saw En Sabonor Apocalypse. So it was dope. We got some morph doing morph shit. Sunspot and Jubilee, which again I loved their dynamic in the in season 1. We got some more Nathan Summers here with the techno-organic virus, getting his arm, stuff like that. So we're gonna see maybe some closure with Scott and Jean. Scott, yes, with Scott and Madeline Pryor sending away from the future, just having that dynamic. Storm doing Storm shit, love it. Again, love the costume designs here. It's really dope. Got some Apocalypse stuff going on. There's some Jean Grey. Do you think we'll see Madeline Pryor again? I don't know.
Again, yeah. This season, I don't know.
Yeah, because Madeline Pryor was pretty popular, for various reasons last season. I think I love that we're getting Polaris. I think there was a clip, there was a shot here as well. It happened really quick, but we looked like we got the roster of Generation X, and I was like, "Fuck yes!" Because I love Generation X. I'm a big Generation X, because you saw like what looked like Sync, you saw Chamber, you saw like Surge. Like I was like, "Ooh, we're in Generation X." And this is where part where Rebecca's like, "What? Who are those people?"
This whole video is me just nodding along, me like, "Sure."
Sure, that sounds like an X-Men's name.
Yeah. And Carl Marx saying here is like, I just want the Grant Morrison fits animated finally, dude. And they look fantastic. Like those suits, like in animation, look really good. Martrell is saying like, is Bo DeMille still part of it, or did Disney fire him? I believe he was fired, but I think he penned the script before. He already had the script penned already, so this is still technically him. Seamus, I don't know if you confirm that or not. I believe that was the case. He already.
I think so. Either that, or they edited his scripts for this. So like either way, this is still his like story beats.
Mm-hmm. But I remember one of the biggest red flags was that like they got the screenwriter, they got the writer for What If to pen season 3, and I'm just like, eesh, because like What If was kind of but yeah, but as far as I know, bro, I think this is still technically him, but Obviously, he's not off the project due to the scandal. Yeah, I mean, I want to kind of just move on to like the roster because of the roster trailer that they just dropped. But yeah, this looks awesome. And I think Wolverine will have the bone claws at some point. Like he will get his second mutation and turn feral because last time we saw him, he did it. Magnum did the iconic moment where he ripped the adamantium out of him, and in the comics, that's when he gets his second mutation where he turns more feral Wolverine and gets the bone claws again. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, so far this looks really interesting. This looks really good so far. So we'll see where that goes. But yeah, real quick, we'll just watch this roll call trailer they just dropped like literally like a few days ago. So yeah, we'll talk more about more of the roster, I guess. Awards. There we go. That is crazy. Oh shit. Siren. Oh, I have it. They're down to an X Factor. That's crazy. Oh, we got the drill head. Let's go. All right. So, what do y'all think of that? Which are the characters that stand out to y'all that were maybe some of the new characters that catch your eye a little bit?
I mean, the only one I know that are new are like Cable and Polaris. So cool.
Well, Cable isn't new.
I like Polaris. God bless.
Yeah, man, Polaris. Jean Grey. We saw Cyclops. Obviously, we saw. Forge coming back. I actually thought Forge's stuff was a little. Nah, I wasn't. I kind of think that the Forge and Storm episode they did was a little bit of one of the weaker episodes, in my opinion.
I thought it was fine.
Yeah, I thought it was okay. But happy to see him back. Beast. Beast be beastin'. Morph turning into Silver Samurai is crazy. I love that. Like,
I didn't know is Morph allowed to change ethnicities?
He's been doing it.
You're not beating the cameo machine allegations, though.
Yeah. Morph is just there for the comedic relief and just to be a cameo fest. Because he turned into Deadpool in the other trailer. My boy Bishop, happy to see him back. Of course, Rogue. Hopefully, Rogue be more still angry, due to Danvers' death. Again, and then I'm loving the costume. Man. A lot of great costume designs and homages from previous runs. Yeah, the fact that we got Wolverine in kind of like his own version of like the X-27 version of like the Feral Wolverine costume with the bone claws. That's awesome. I love this design. This is dope.
I'm not the biggest fan of it, but I'm not a fan of Feral Wolverine to begin with.
I know you don't like No-Nose Wolverine. We scares us a little bit. You look at Silver Samurai, it's dope. Like I more cameo fest with Morph. Did Storm like control an Aurora? Holy fuck! Like that was like that. That's dope. Again, that's dope. Just her doing more goddess stuff. Yeah, we got we got Jubilee doing Jubilee stuff. Sunspot doing Sunspot stuff. Archangel, because I don't know if this is. Because last time we saw Archangel, it was a cameo by Morph, but it wasn't him. It was him as Angel, but he still had the metal wings, but he was wearing a more Angel costume. It was still blue. But if this is actual like legit Archangel and not Morph, just morphing, that's awesome. I'm here for it. Psylocke, same thing. Last time we saw Psylocke, it was Morph, but it looks like it is Psylocke because I don't know. Last time we saw Psylocke, it was Morph, but we'll see. Cable. I see Cable again. Siren is wild. Did not expect that. But again, no Siren, but no Banshee. That is interesting. Yeah, but then they're just doing X Factor, Strong Guy, Havoc, Multiple Man. Because again, we saw these characters in the Genosha episode of the last season. So that's great to see them actually full-fledged characters. Wolfsbane, Emma Frost, and we saw last season, and Polaris. Mm-hmm. And here's when we see the Generation X characters. So like we got like Quentin. I think this is Quentin Quire, Sync, and then back there you can kind of see Chamber. Rebecca, look it up. Dope characters. Especially Sync and Chamber. I love those characters. Magneto with a dope ass look, and then that's pretty much it. Yeah, good roster. Okay, I'm loving the fact that it's going to be the X-Men that we've seen so far. You know, with a mix of like X Factor and Generation X in there. I think it's awesome. So overall, final thoughts on this on both these trailers on X-Men on season 2 as a whole. What are y'all excited? Yay, nay, thumbs up, thumbs down? What y'all thinking?
It looks interesting. I'll probably watch it. I like the first season well enough.
Yeah, I like the first season, so I'd be down to watch the second. Obviously, I don't know that much about X-Men, so I don't really have any expectations going on it, which I feel like makes it better to just enjoy watching it all the way through.
Yeah. Me too. I mean, love X-Men 97. I think it's literally one of the best X-Men adaptations we've ever gotten. I think it's fantastic. Definitely looking forward to the next season. If I'm correct, and Bo DeMeo did pen this season, because I feel like the show wouldn't be as successful as it was if not for Bo DeMeo and his choice on what to add, what to add and include, what to pay homage to in terms of the comics into the previous show continuity. But looking to see fucking Generation X, man. Generation X and X Factor. Crazy. All right, so moving on real quick to our last reaction before we move on to our Spider-Noir review. But 2 days ago, we got the trailer for Spider-Man Brand New Day. I watched the teaser. From the teaser, we and Seamus reacted to it, I believe, like 2 After Darks ago. And we thought it was cool. We thought we liked what they were doing what they were introducing. Peter going through a metamorphosis, from a character art perspective as well as from a physical perspective, mutating. Got some Punisher in there, got some Bruce Banner in there. There is some theories and stuff about maybe little Jean Grey, with Sadie Sink is in the movie as a redhead. We see something go from body to body there in that one scene. So I don't know, maybe we're gonna start. Let's wait for them to start, incorporating mutants, introducing more mutants, more of the X-Men. Rebecca, what did you think? Because you weren't a part of that teaser reaction. What are your thoughts on Brand New Day from so far?
I already watched the trailer for this.
I know. Well, I didn't watch the trailer. That's why I want to react to it. All right.
I feel like not getting into this newest trailer, like I'm excited for Spider-Man, even though I am the first in line to also like shit on Marvel for being like, putting out stuff just to put stuff out. I'm still gonna hate on Doomsday or Secret War, whichever one it is, until I'm in the theater day one seeing it.
Yeah.
But I am excited for Spider-Man. Tom Holland. I don't know if you guys saw, like, apparently he was working on the Odyssey and he called the director of the Spider-Man and was like, you guys need to learn how to make a fucking movie, basically.
That's crazy.
I saw that.
He told what, like, Marvel, like, Destiny and Credit, like, y'all gotta get your reps up pretty much after doing the Odyssey.
I mean, he didn't say it like I said it, but, in his more polite, professional way, he's like, yeah, we need to make, like, an actual movie this time. So wow. I'm hopeful in that regard.
Yeah,
it
was also apparently co-written by the writer who did Challengers.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I really enjoy Challengers. Well, Tom Holland is gonna get one of these. He has to get one of these just for that. That's crazy work.
Now listen, that's called motherfucking bars, nigga. You know nothing about that.
Yeah, crazy work.
I can't believe Tom Holland said that.
Yeah, he did, man. He said all that.
Oh, not too much, Tom. Not too much.
Not too much.
That's my favorite Tom Holland clip. That is my favorite.
No, yeah, well, okay, yeah. Without further ado, because I know y'all have seen it, but I haven't seen it yet. Because I decided to change my mind. I was gonna just watch the teaser and just watch most of the movie blind. I'm like, it's a fucking Marvel movie. Who gives a fuck? They're gonna hide stuff anyway, so it doesn't really matter. All right, yeah. So here's the trailer for Spider-Man: A Brand New Day. Ooh, ooh. Whoa. Whoa!
I know they're doing the whole like man spider thing, but seeing some of this, especially at the beginning, just makes me think they really wanted to do Venom, but they couldn't at this point.
Couldn't.
I think it's gonna end with Matt Gargan Venom.
Oh. Ew, he's leaking. The drama? Oh, I forgot he doesn't know who he is. Yeah. Whoa. Oh, shit. Paul. What the fuck? Who is this? Whoa. She introduced him to Frank. The hand. Where the fuck is he? Where is he?
I'm still like not unconvinced Daredevil's gonna show up in this.
I know. Wow. Oh. Whoa. Let's go. That's such Spider-Man shit. I love it. That was cool. Again, that doesn't really reveal much, so I'm like, yeah, like I wasn't really too worried. Okay, there was nothing to be worried about. Yeah, that looks really good. Yeah, more of the mutation stuff. They're definitely like Rebecca. I think you might be right that they were like, yeah, we wanted to do Venom, but like we couldn't get it. Like there probably was a reason why they couldn't. So they're just like, yeah, we'll just do Man Spider. I'm hoping it's Man Spider. Like I want the arms to come out. I want that shit. Like
You want the full man spider.
I want the full man. Well, I want
What whole man?
I want the whole man. Yeah, no, I want the full. I want at least at minimum do at least like the 6 arms. Like do like the 6 arm Spider-Man. I would love that. I don't know if they'll do full on Man Spider because like the kiddos, but Rowdy man, fuck them kids, bro. Like we don't like what are we doing?
They can handle it. It's fine.
Yeah, they can handle it. But so far, with this one right here, I mean, I like it. Yeah, cut the check. I think this looks good. I mean, like it's one of the best things about like we watched the teaser was that they felt more like grounded, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. So that getting back to that instead of just doing Iron Man Jr. and like space shit and all that. Going back to grassroots stuff. And also that complication of the fact that no one remembers him still. And he wants to try to get back and get MJ and Ned back into his life, but because of the spell that's not happening, so he has to stay away. But now I guess this threat is threatening to go after the people that he cares about. The fact that like I'm assuming maybe this threat still knows that like is the only one that like remembers who Peter is. But yeah, it's very interesting that like this villain, whoever the hell this is, Peter Parker. Peter's the only one that can sense it. The only one that can that is aware that it exists. So yeah, it's very interesting. And yeah, the whole mutation stuff. Yeah, seeing Peter ooze, I did not want to see that. That was nasty. Yeah, that's gross. Yeah, more Banner stuff. I guess kind of confirming, yeah, that Banner uses that tech to suppress, his Hulk, to suppress the Hulk and to stay in his human form. That's cool. Yeah, love that Peter launches himself so hard he ends up on the set of the drama. That's wild. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm definitely like this threat stopping people moving in their tracks. That Peter's not affected by it. I don't know, man. That seemed like telepath shit. That seemed like, I don't know. Maybe Sadie Sink is Jean Grey. I don't know. Maybe Jean Grey's the villain, even though like I don't know if that I don't know how that makes sense. But her being the villain of the fucking movie, but
Yeah. Also, I don't know if they want to. I don't know if it's a good idea to portray your like first major mutant, like in the MCU is going to be like the terrorist villain of a Spider-Man movie. I don't know. That doesn't really sound too good.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, like because I don't know any other Spider-Man villains who are telepaths on that scale. Other than like,
I don't know many telepath villains in general. You can always scale someone up for your movie.
That's true.
I would pay money if it was a very freaky version of like Chameleon.
Chameleon?
If it was like a freaky, like if Chameleon was like a body snatcher.
That'd be interesting.
They did some shit like that, and it mirrored
Didn't
like
Chameleon show up in like the Kraven the Hunter thing or something like
he
that.
Was. He was.
You think anyone saw that?
No.
Yeah, man. It was on Netflix. It was on Netflix, and I still pirated it. I like the real talk.
Why are you even admitting you watched it? That's depressing. I do think that if it was like a funky version of the Chameleon, like that'd be cool. It probably is Jean Grey, and they're probably gonna like, be like, "Whoa, Stranger Things kid is Jean Grey," and I'm gonna be like, "Wow, this is just the most like useless fucking thing that even follow anymore."
Mm-hmm.
Two things I like about this trailer that also we saw in the other trailer. I like the suit. I think the suit looks good.
Fantastic.
I also like that there are other superheroes in this that make it feel a little more like lived in, like how we see usually in Spider-Man comics. That being said, I don't want the Hulk to overstay his welcome.
True. I don't want the Hulk to overshadow the movie. Yeah, it's cool that like Savage Hulk is coming back, but like have him, be a threat, they handle it, and then move on. Know what I mean?
It's crazy that every movie we've got an entirely different version of Hulk.
Yeah. Because they won't give him his own movie because of Universal. So like they're gonna try every way to incorporate him in other people's movies so that he's still relevant. So yeah, but love the fact that he's gonna fight the Hulk. That's crazy. Also love the fact that like it's freaking MJ because he tries to protect MJ at all costs, and he just introduces MJ to Frank, and it's like, why is this happening? Yeah. Like, oh yeah, here's MJ, the Punisher, psychopath killer.
That's one thing I don't like about this concept of this movie, and it's not its fault. This comes from the last one, is that we're kind of starting back at square one with characters we kind of already know. Yeah. I kind of wish we could just move forward with it, but it is what it is.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, and also like this looks shot like well. It's actually like as I said, like last teaser. In the teaser, like it seems like an actual like intentional like shot decisions. There's a style going on. So I'm very confident with Desmond Daniel Cretton compared to like John Watts in the Homecoming trilogy. The hand, awesome, but again, my thing. Me and Seamus both said it. I refuse to accept the hand in anything else that's not Daredevil involved. I'm sorry, like Daredevil has to be in this movie, and the fact that they're in a prison, and knowing how Daredevil Born Again season 2 ended, he has to be in this movie. He has to be held here. This is Daredevil's prison, bro. He has to be here. So yeah, him fighting the hand. That's what's up. Him pulling a spider blossom from like the Spider-Man PS4 games, crazy. And yeah, a little Aunt May action. You know, him, giving, respect, paying respect to Aunt May. Awesome. And yeah, and yeah, I love this end scene at the end, like, a little, like, typical Spider-Man, you hear him stretching, be like, not in high school no more, gotta, I'm unk now, so I gotta, like, stretch the joints a little bit. Yeah, I thought it was good. So yeah, the overall, this trailer I really like this trailer. It's a good trailer. Doesn't really, it just mostly expands a little bit on, like, what we've seen and what we've expected, but, like, doesn't give too much away. I feel like they're definitely hiding shit in here. They must be, like, Daredevil, Man Spider stuff, or at least minimum 6-arm Spider-Man. They're saving that. Fucking maybe Venom is in this fucking movie, because remember the Venom symbiote is in the MCU after after No Way Home with that post-credit scene.
They really should have brought Tom Hardy over. It really
should have. But Sony sucks. It makes terrible decisions. So yeah. But so for me, again, it's a thumbs up, double thumbs up. Really, I mean, this is one of my most anticipated movies of the year. I'm really excited. I'm probably gonna be watching it day one. And yeah, man. So any more thoughts on Spider-Man Brand New Day? This new trailer? Any theories y'all got that you wanna address or no?
No.
I'm good. I'm gonna go see it. That's just a fact of life. As much as I complain, I will be in week one for any Marvel movie that comes out because I'm still a shill. So
exactly.
Yeah.
And we're definitely going to be reviewing it. So that'll be on the lookout.
I already got my ticket.
You got your ticket already? Yeah, I got. I think me and my boy Cody might go see it in IMAX. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, all right. So moving on to the next topic now. So our final, our topic, the topic that we're waiting for. We're gonna be We're gonna be reviewing, real quick, Spider-Noir, people. Which is the recent Amazon Prime 8-episode series developed by Phil Lord and Chris Miller because they're helming the Spider-Man TV division from Sony. Because of their based achievements with the Spider-Verse movies. This is a series starring Nick Cage reprising his role as the character because this is the same character introduced in Spider-Verse, but obviously this is his live action debut. So we'll just get right into it. So real quick, guys, give us real quick overall thoughts, non-spoilers. What were your overall thoughts of Spider-Noir? For the peoples.
To begin with, I watched this in black and white. I didn't watch this in color. Do you say why?
No, I said so did I.
Oh, okay. I enjoyed it more than I thought I was going to. When this was announced, I didn't feel any particular way about it. But I thought the characters were the best part of the show. They were very fun to watch and follow along with. It was less Spider-Man-y, like in terms of like action than I thought it was going to be, but that didn't like detract. I feel like that actually worked in its favor for me for the show. And yeah, I like binged right through this in like 2 days. I was glued to the screen for the entirety of it.
Yeah, I think I have the same thing with you, Rebecca, when it comes to, like, it is like in terms of action, it's not as Spider-Man-y as we used to, but I feel like that's a budgetary issue. Like they couldn't go because they're so used to, Tom Holland Spider-Man in terms of what he can do on screen with millions of dollars in budget. With this, it's just like they had a more tighter budget to work with, so that's probably why we didn't get as crazy Spider-Man stuff as before. We get some cool stuff for sure, but I just want to add on to that.
And one more thing too with the plot of this, I feel like the mystery, even though itself wasn't super compelling at any given moment, like I had said, the characters are interesting enough that it's never boring, or I thought it was never boring.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely more character driven than plot driven in terms of the story. Seamus, bro, what are your thoughts, bro, on Spider-Noir?
I think that your enjoyment of the show is going to live and die based on how much you can handle Nicolas Cage.
Yeah,
if you like Nicolas Cage, or at least can enjoy some of his performances, you'll enjoy this. But if you have a problem with Nicolas Cage going full Nicolas Cage in like every role, then you're gonna probably hate this show. Because the show really is more of like, it's not that it's bad or anything, but it definitely feels like Nicolas Cage just wanted to be Spider-Man, and this is like his Make-A-Wish, and and it's really good too. You know,
Make-A-Wish is crazy.
I watched it in color actually, because
really, why is that?
I saw clips of the color grading in some of the trailers, and I was like, "Oh wait, that looks really nice."
Yeah.
And it was really fucking cool. I think I would have actually regretted watching it in black and white based on how
I
color
didn't.
I
didn't. Yeah.
You will when you watch the color version, because you'll be like,
okay,
hold on. Yeah, it was fun. It was solid. It was low budget, and they used their budget effectively. I had a very fun time watching it. Definitely don't regret it. Probably, it's not going to be like my favorite of the year, but I enjoy season 2.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna say my piece. I was apprehensive of this show at first because people that don't know Mikey lore, I'm a huge fan of Spider-Man Noir. I remember buying the digest of the first I have like the first trade in digest form I got at a bookstore when I was like in middle school. I love this character. I remember playing with Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions growing up as well, as my introduction to that character was in that game. Love this character, but I knew for a fact, because of the way he was introduced, he was characterized in Spider-Verse, it wasn't going to be the same character. And that's why I have both these up, is because if you're, I mean, not gonna say that like they're like diehard fans like myself of like the original Spider-Man Noir character, but just be aware, people that are aware, that do know that know Ball, that are aware of, that have read those comics, not the same character. I really wish we got the radical socialist Spider-Man that's fueled by the struggle of the Great Depression, killing the elites for the people. I wish we got that Spider-Man, but you know, it is what it is. But like what Seamus said to add on, when he said it is going to really rely on how much you like Nick Cage, and Nick Cage did a great job in the role. However, I got annoyed at times because when they clearly gave him moments and scenes where they said like, Nick, no notes, no script, we just want you to just do Nick Cage shit, and it really took me out of the show at times. And it kind of annoyed me because I thought he really did a really good job as the Spider, as Ben Reilly. But then when they would give him obvious Nick Cage shit, it took me out of it for a second. But I got used to it later on in the show. So, but yeah, I think the characters are the strongest part of the show. That this show is very character driven. You know, the character arcs, and what they go through, and what according to the character arcs of each character and what they go through. I love I saw it in black and white. I will watch the first episode or two in color to see what the color grading was like with the true hue color. But I think the show was very well shot. The color grading, whether it's in black and white and or color, was top. I thought it was fantastic. And there was then they utilized their budget well in terms of how much they could pull off in terms of the abilities of Spider-Man, the abilities of the other villains that we see. Very well. They managed their budget well. So yeah, I thought, and I didn't like, you know, some of the stuff that they, you know, some of the lore that they added to, you know, to this version of Spider-Man Noir, to the lore. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. I was very entertained. I went in with like mid expectations, but actually came out really liking the show. Not my favorite show of the year, like I would agree with Seamus, but I definitely enjoyed it for sure, and would recommend people to watch it. Check it out. All right, so that's pretty much. Any more thoughts on the non-spoiler stuff before we go into spoilers? Spoilers is gonna be straight characters. That's it. I don't got like any theory. Just straight characters. All right. So for people, if you have not watched Spider-Noir, go on Amazon Prime Video. All 8 episodes are out. Or if not, go on Amazon Prime, watch it on other means. You know, put your pirate hat on. You know, we don't encourage this stuff, but do what you got to do to watch the show. We highly recommend it. Just real quick, so we're gonna be going into spoilers in 3, 2, 1. All right, so now spoiler territory. And yeah, so we're gonna be we'll obviously talk about what we liked, what we didn't, but we're mostly just gonna breeze through the characters and talk about what we liked, what we didn't through the characters. But yeah, so the first batch of characters off rip are, and I have them on. I have multiple characters on. I have multiple characters on multiple slides. Well, the first batch of characters is none other than Ben Reilly, aka the Spider, and Robbie Robertson, played by Nick Cage and Lamorne Morris. Again, like we said, Nick Cage did a really good job. Pretty much did what he portrayed. He pretty much did his portrayal of what he did in Into the Spider-Verse. But obviously, because it's on streaming. It's a more mature show. It was a lot more darker, a lot more grittier, more kind of more like like a more noir, more pulp noir kind of style performance through the subject matter, because it takes place in the 30s. I thought he did great. Only issue again was that like, there would be moments where they would be like, "Yo, just no plot, no nothing, just do Nick Cage shit," and it just took me out of it. But overall, I thought he did a great job with the great job in the role. Love his personality a lot, but like they really did. They kind of, because how Peter Parker and Spider-Man, like there's a kind of a duality to them. Like Peter Parker acts the way he acts when he's himself, but then when he puts on the mask, he's kind of a different person. He's more whimsical when he fights. He's snappy, more confident. So I felt the same way with Ben here, because Ben is more depressed. Is just depressed. Does not want to. Just hates being the Spider. It kind of just trying to just go by as a regular person due to the tragedy experience with his love interests with the woman he loves dying. In flashbacks, and stuff. But when he's a Spider, you can tell he's having more fun. He's more snappy. He's more charismatic. He's more confident. So I kind of like they kind of explore that duality with this character. And obviously the elephant in the room. He's going by Ben Reilly in the show because the way Marvel licensing works with the character. If you're using Spider-Man, if you're using Peter Parker, if you're using the name Spider-Man or Peter Parker, there's a certain set of rules that character is portrayed in film or in TV. So like they can't smoke, can't curse, you can't kill people, can't be super violent, stuff like that. So for the sake of the show, they had to change. He changed his name to Ben Reilly, even though it is hinted that he is Peter Parker, but through circumstance, he just changed his name to Ben Reilly. Yeah. So there's that. I'll start off with my thoughts on Ben. What are your thoughts on any more elaboration on Ben Reilly, aka the Spider, as a character, Nick Cage's portrayal? No thoughts, head empty, huh? Great.
I think you covered a lot of it. Yeah, like we said, I think Nick Cage does a good job. He does have his Nick Cage isms some of the time in the show. For me, yeah, he's gonna do his thing. It's a little distracting, but it didn't take me out necessarily. But just a fun character to follow around. I never felt like he got too depressing or anything like that. There's always a levity to his character. And yeah, that's kind of all I got.
Yeah. Seamus, anything you want to add?
I mean, Nicolas Cage is a good actor, and I think he does a lot of really good shit in this show. But I do think, like you said, there are scenes where they're just all right, riff is Nick Cage for 5 minutes, and those scenes can sometimes I'm a little okay, all right, what are we doing here, But I do think overall he was a very grounded and very solid character that I think worked really well in those scenes. It was really only when they decided to do hey, just riff, that's when I was tapped out. But everything else from him was very good and very serious. He took it very seriously.
One thing I want to acknowledge, which one of the changes that I thought I actually really did like, because when they go into his origin in one of the episodes of how he got his powers, and also I love the fact that his powers are connected to the other villains and how they got their abilities, because it was during World War One, and these people, the villains that we see in the show, were experimented on by German soldiers and the way they revealed how he got his powers was wild. Because in the comic, in Spider-Noir comic, this is for you, Rebecca, because you've never read them, but Peter's powers in the comics are more magic based than science based. In the Noir verse, there was a totem that was from a spider god that like was being handled by some criminals. Peter was doing a story for Ben Urich at the time. It broke, and a bunch of like a fuck ton of spiders came out of the statue and ate those bad guys, those criminals alive, because they were evildoers. But one of the spiders got onto Peter, bit him, and because he was a good person, he saw the spider god in front of him and had via like a trip being bit by the spider. And because he was a good person, the spider kind of made him kind of his avatar on Earth and gave him spider abilities, the typical spider powers. In this, as I said, a lot of the villains were based on got their abilities via human experimentation by the Germans during World War I. Ben was one of the soldiers that went to rescue was sent to rescue them, which he does. They witnessed the experimentation because they're all experiments from like animals and elements that they used, pretty much making like hybrids and stuff like that, giving people powers, gene splicing. And while he's going through all the people that are captured being experimented on, he tries to help one of these experimented on soldiers, lifts up the blanket of one of them, and it's literally just a guy who literally is a fucking scary ass human spider hybrid. Crazy. Literally, I don't know about y'all, but it creeped me out. I was like, holy, that's disgusting. And it bites.
You said you wanted man spider.
Yeah, but it was like human body and like spider legs, and it freaked me out. And I was like, blah. But anyway, he bites him, and that's how he gets his abilities. And people that have watched the show, you already know that like the people that were experimented on, the villains that we see, because of the experiments and because of their abilities, they're on a ticking clock. Their abilities are gonna end up killing them. But because Ben got bitten by an experimentee, he's different. He can utilize his abilities without a cost to his life. So that was a really cool change. Love that. Also, the fight scenes were good. Clearly, obviously, a stunt double doing all the fight scenes for Nick Cage because Nick Cage couldn't do it himself because he's up there in age. But I remember there was one in the beginning, like right when the show starts, and we get kind of like that montage of like, who this version of Spider-Man is. There's that one fight that was Seamus. It was leaked. Remember, it was leaked like last year where he was in the bar. And it's very stylized and black and white with the glowing eyes. That was sick as hell. I love that. That was one of the visor. Like the guy was literally like he clicks a button and it glows. I thought it was a style choice at first. That like, oh yeah, when it's nighttime, his eyes are just glowing. But like, no, it's really a button he presses. It's hilarious. Yeah. So overall, Nick Cage, Ben Reilly, thought he did a good job. And I feel like he attests to Nick Cage's performance. He kind of has a really good banter and chemistry with like a lot of the characters introduced here, even some of the villains. So I really like that. Robbie is played by Lamorne Morris. Personally, my favorite character. Loved Robbie in this show. Thought Lamorne Morris. I'm a fan of his from New Girl. That they did a great job. Very charismatic, very witty. He's kind of a fallen reporter trying to get back into the fold, which I really enjoyed. He's kind of reminds me of like, I guess kind of like a Ben Urich, more than like a Robbie Robertson in a way. Really did enjoy it. He was so funny. Loved the part where he tries to, when Silvermane asks for the spider on the phone and he just pretends to be, he does like his best like Nick Cage as Ben Reilly impression, and it's hilarious. Yeah, man, I loved him. I thought he was great. Also, I loved his chemistry not only with Ben but with some of the other characters like Janet, the secretary. Love his dynamic with Robbie a lot, with Lonnie Lincoln a lot in this. But yeah, and Rebecca, you were there. But every time I watched, especially in the beginning when I was watching the show in the Discord, I was like, "Yo, I'm loving this show. Love the set production. Love that it's in the 30s. Love that it's a solid period piece. But where the fuck is the racism? Where is it?" And I was like, "You cannot do a show in the 30s and not acknowledge racism and like segregation and like all that stuff." I would have been pissed because I'm very nitpicky about my period pieces. I want them, if you're gonna do a period piece, even whether it's fiction or not, gotta show accuracy, or at least remnants of accuracy, like remnants of the time period.
I mean, they talk about it in the show a little bit, but they don't linger on it because they still want to use
No,
the character.
No, I know that, but I'm saying it's like if they didn't mention it at all, it'd been a problem. Like, why is Robbie just sitting with Ben in a diner and not getting told to sit in the back or leave? Like why? Like, it doesn't make any sense. But no, they did. They acknowledged, like, they acknowledged segregation. They acknowledged all of the social, political tribes of the time. So I was happy. I was like, you know what? As long as it's referenced or as long as they acknowledge it throughout the show, I was fine with it, and they did. So yeah. Any thoughts on Robbie as a character?
I really like Robbie in the show. He might be my favorite character in it as well. I just really liked how he played off of Ben and the other characters, and I thought him doing his own thing was also fun enough to follow. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Seamus, what about you?
I believe it's actually Emmy award-winning actor Lamorne Morris.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, of course. It's going to be like a Big Her situation where we have to acknowledge it every single time.
You gotta acknowledge it every time, dude. I can't believe he won an Emmy for Fargo. He was so good in Fargo. Yeah. He's fun. I love Lamorne Morris a lot. It's always nice to see him show up in a show. So even if he is playing like a weird, character mashup, whatever, he plays his role very well. I love seeing him.
Mm-hmm. Also, real quick, Marshall, I forgot to answer your question earlier, but he asked, did you guys like the TV show The Gifted, the X-Men TV show on Fox? I watched both seasons when they was airing at the time. That was cool. That was all right.
Yeah, not bad.
It was cool to see. I mean, as someone who's obsessed with Jamie Chung, I love to see her as Blink. I thought she was cool as Blink. Oh, the characters were cool. But yeah, I thought it was a solid X-Men show. Even though the real X-Men show, the best X-Men live action show ever, low key is Alphas. Just if you know ball, you know ball. Just saying. But yeah. So Lamorne. It's funny. The last time I saw Lamorne in a comic, because this isn't his first comic book property. The first time it was ever in a comic book adaptation was in that shitty Bloodshot movie with Vin Diesel, and I was like,
oh yeah.
And he was the best part of the movie. So yeah. But man, shout out to Lamorne Morris. Drop a clues bomb real quick for Lamorne Morris. Yeah, I thought he was great. I thought he did a great job. Also, him in the last episode in the Spider-Noir in the Spider costume, and he gets freaking like just injected with that serum that wasn't working on him, and he got like electrocuted, like new electrocuted. That was hilarious. This is it's good stuff. But yeah, so let's move on to next set of characters. So we got Kat Hardy and Janet Ruiz. Yeah, and Janet Ruiz, played by Karen Rodriguez and the beautiful, talented Lee Jun Lee from Sinners fame. All these two characters were great. Again, we'll talk about Kat Hardy real quick. Kat Hardy is the one that goes through the most changes because it's like obviously Kat Hardy, as a nod to Felicia Hardy, is not the same character from the main continuity or in the noir universe at all. She's a completely different character. She's just named Hardy just for the association. I thought the character was good. How she was tied to Silvermane and is kind of like in a way, not really a damsel in distress kind of character. Well, she kind of was a damsel in distress.
I mean, she's supposed to be like the femme fatale.
The femme fatale, yeah, kind of archetype, especially from that time period. I thought she did a good job. Love her dynamic with Ben. I thought her kind of like long lost love relationship with Flint in this was really interesting, and her abusive relationship with Silvermane and how she was trying to get out of that and doing it any way that she could by going along with the mayor, getting Ben involved. I thought that was really good. So what are your thoughts on Kat Hardy and Lee Jun Lee's performance?
Kind of skipping around a little bit. I thought Janet was also probably my other favorite character in this. Again, just the rapport and everything like that with.
I thought Janet was hilarious. She was funny.
I thought she was funny, and I liked her character. Kat Hardy, I liked her. she does play into the femme fatale tropes a little bit. I almost wish she didn't have like the kind of will they won't they thing with Nick Cage, but I understand that's kind of part of the archetype.
Yeah.
So I liked her, but she wasn't my favorite. But she did a good job with her character.
Yeah. Seamus, what about you, bro?
Yeah, I totally agree. Definitely wish they did a little more that was a little more interesting, but I also understand like her character was to play into the tropes of like noir detective stories, so it's kind of like, you know, hopefully next season she actually gets something to do. But Janet was so fun. I fucking love Janet.
Janet was great, dude. Like Janet was so funny, and like it felt like, you know, like the snappy secretary. Like, I love that. Like she like Karen Rodriguez kind of embraced, kind of like took that role well and made it more comedic. Very, you know, not really. Like she always gave Ben a run for her money all the time. They always went at odds with each other, but at the same time it was they were contentious as a partner duo relationship, but like at the same time it was like, but she was very empathetic and caring. I really like that about her. Like she was like, you know, very like, you know, like very like, you know, spicy Latina in your face, but at the same time like very empathetic towards, you know, her relationships that are due to her. I love that. And,
this
you know,
spoiler, which we're in the spoiler section. I like how at the very end of the show, like she officially becomes like partners with Ben because she's the one doing most of the work.
It's very Daredevil season 1. Like it's very like, oh yeah, Karen Page is the secretary, but then she becomes, you know, a part of, you know, the law firm. You know, we're getting her name added onto there. You know, I think that was great. I really was hoping, just to get back to Cat Hardy, I really was hoping that like they were gonna introduce some like their version of like Black Cat in this, because I think Black Cat in the noir comics is a really interesting character. It has ties to, and you know, in terms of her and Peter's relationship, and also like, you know, how she decides to get out there as like a vigilante herself. I thought it was really cool. But maybe we'll get that in season 2 if she comes back in season 2. But other than that, I think Lee Jun Lee did a great job, as well as Karen Rodriguez. I'm just happy Lee Jun Lee's getting a lot of great work. You know, obviously coming back off, you know, with Sinners and this. I have known Lee Jun Lee since Quantico, like that show, like back in like the 2010s. Like I knew her since then. So
we were watching like ass ABC shows.
No, it was on Fox. Get it right, it was on Fox.
I think it was ABC.
No, it was not. It was on Fox.
Why are you so defensive about Quantico being on Fox?
Because I love Priyanka.
I didn't need to know her.
Priyanka Chopra was wifey. I would defend that woman to the day I die. So I'm happy that she's having an amazing career so far. So happy for Karen Rodriguez. Love you.
No, fuck you. Quantico aired on ABC. I just
was it on ABC?
Fuck you. I fucking knew that shit.
Yeah.
Did you ever try to make me believe? You know why? Because I remember seeing the ads for it while I was watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and my first thought was, what the fuck is that show?
Yeah, it was a weird show, bro. I only watched the first season, and the only reason why I even watched it because I was like, oh, fine ass Indian woman, love it. And also Jenny Matrix was in the show.
Yes,
so
I remember seeing her in the trailer, and me and my brother were like, what?
Yeah.
Weird.
But yeah, any more thoughts on Cat Hardy? And see, Carnicle was fire, but Karl Marx agrees with me. I'm not crazy. But and Martrell saying that Janet was a good character. Yeah, she was great. But yeah, any thoughts on Janet and Cat before we move on? Nope.
Good.
All right. So next batch of characters is now we're going to the villains. Silvermane and Flint Marko, aka Sandman, played by Brendan Gleeson and Jack Houston. I'm gonna let one of y'all go. What do y'all think of Silvermane and this version of Sandman?
I liked Silvermane in that he did have a very like commanding presence. Like every time he was on screen, I was paying attention to what he was saying.
Yeah, I mean Brendan Gleeson's a great actor too. So I mean, like, in the performance, he's just good. So you know,
I mean, he did like as far as what he does in the show. You know, he's a mob boss. He's not really doing so much himself as he is like sending his goons out to do whatever. And that's fine. Getting into that a little bit with Sandman. I like Sandman. I wish he had a little more to do. independent of being a mafia goon. But
Yeah.
otherwise, I thought he was fine. I liked what they were trying to do with his arc. And he's the most interesting of the like group of like super powered villains they have.
Mm-hmm. Seamus, what about you, bro?
I fucking love Brandon Gleeson. I'm
Yeah.
a big Brandon Gleeson head.
Yeah.
His performance in Bruges with Colin Farrell, kind of fucking sick. He's always good to cast as like we have like a villain who just needs to be imposing, and we need a really good actor to do it. And you just like get Brendan Gleeson in there, and he'll fucking make it entertaining, and he does. I actually think Sandman's spiritual place is as a mafia goon. I think that is at his core who he spiritually is. The way he talks, the way he acts, I'm like, yeah, that dude's never making it above goon status.
Yeah, Rebecca, his name is Flint Marko, for God's sake. That is mafia goon.
I'm not arguing against it.
Dude, when in Spectacular Spider-Man, when they made him and Rhino just like dumb goon idiots, but they
Yeah,
loved each
I loved
other.
it. I love it so much.
Yeah, I like both of them in the show. They're solid.
Yeah. For me, it's like Brendan Gleeson. I mean, I'm not really like I'm a diehard Silvermane fan. I obviously know who the character is, but like like I like how like Brendan Gleeson kind of made the character his own, kind of embraced the mafioso, the mafia boss. I love how it was that they just made him straight. They just kept him as an Irish. They just kept it like they said, like, you know what? We don't want you to do an Italian accent. Just be Irish. We'll just make him an Irish mob boss. Love that. I liked his dynamic with Cat Hardy, like him just being like, yeah, like he's kind of how he was, like, they kind of address him as like, the classic, like, misogynist, like kind of, I guess, like, like domestic abuser, kind of like keeping Cat Hardy there just simply because he loved her, he liked her around.
Yeah, he's got her in like a gilded cage.
Got in a gilded cage, a surprise. I thought that was like, yeah, this man's a piece of shit. So yeah, I thought Silverman was cool. It was the fact that, like, this man tried to like assert his dominance to people, the dudes that had superpowers, like, like it's like he's just a dude, but yet like he has such a commanding presence of people and has a big reputation for, like, even the superpowered villains will work for this man. That was interesting. Hard to believe a little bit, but it was interesting. I thought Jack Hughes did a good job of Sandman. I like Sandman in the show. I'm not gonna lie though, that's why I'm probably gonna rewatch episode 1 in color, just because the way his physical appearance looked in his sand form and the powers, I don't know if it looked that well in black and white, in my opinion, but I bet it looks. Seamus, you could probably attest that it probably looks better in color.
I thought it looked really cool in color. I thought it looked really sick.
I thought he was cool as like the typical goon, mafia goon. I really did enjoy the forbidden love arc that he had between him and Cat Hardy. I didn't expect that, because I was like, oh, Flint Marko and Cat and like essentially Black Felicia Hardy together, weird. But the way they portrayed it with Jack Huston and Lin Jin Lee's performance, I was like, no, this is actually like Loki kind of rooting for them, like, honestly. But yeah, I thought that was great. I think the powers looked cool. I kind of did like the fact that, like, it wasn't like how he was in the comics, like in like typical main continuity. Like, it was more like grounded of him just being like more durable, just him having more super strength, not really making like constructs or like changing forms like crazy. I thought that was really interesting. I thought it was a more grounded take on his powers, but yet it was kind of more cost, like the low budget. But yeah, I like Sandman. I thought Sandman was good. I thought it was a good character. Sure. Any more thoughts before we move on to the last set of characters?
No.
Not all right. Yeah. So the last bit of characters is none other than Lonnie Lincoln, aka Tombstone, and Dirk Leyden, aka Megawatt, played by Abraham Papula, African ass name, and Andrew Lewis Caldwell. Yeah, I mean, I haven't not really much notes. Out of all of the villains, I think I like Tombstone the most, just because
He really showcased, kind of like the aftermath of, like, he was the example of, like, what was going on politically at the time when it comes to Black veterans during the Great Depression that fought after World War One, how they were pretty much expendable, how they showcased Hooverville, and I thought that was great. And I liked his camaraderie with Robbie Robertson as, two Black men in a very white dominated world. I thought that was really great. And obviously when it was like, oh, like when he said he was gonna work for Silvermane, he was like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna work for Silvermane. Like a warm bed, food, I'm dripped out, I'm pimped out. Like the fuck? I thought that was hilarious. Like, of course he'd work for Silvermane. Why not? And yeah, and I feel like out of all the villains, he had the most heart to him. I really liked it a lot. Man, Megawatt, I'm not gonna lie. When I saw the trailers, I was like, oh, it's gonna be like, Electro, like, like this is gonna be Max Dillon. And it says his name was Dirk Leyden. I was like, I've never heard Dirk Leyden before. Then I had to look it up. I was like, is a Spider-Man villain named fucking Megawatt? I was like, what? And like he's an actual villain, like in Marvel Comics. And it's just like, huh. The more you know, because I don't feel like he's ever used ever. Because like
why would you use him when he can use Electro?
So that's what I'm wondering. Like, why couldn't they use Electro? Like, what was the purpose? Was it another Sony licensing issue? Like, what was the problem with that? I thought Andrew Lewis Caldwell was fine. I mean, he was fine. Like, he was kind of like, the more like he kind of portrayed like, the unhinged villain trope. It's wild because I've seen this actor in so much shit throughout the years, like since like I was a kid. So like, it's just nice to see that, like, he's exists, that he's getting work. Good for him. I don't even know, like, I have a deep cut that I would say that was my first time I ever saw this actor or anything, but I feel like it would show my age because I don't know if anyone even remembers this fucking thing. But do y'all remember a little movie on Nickelodeon called Shredder-Man Rules? Remember that movie?
No, fucking no.
Exactly. That shit is lost to time, and it's
2 hours into a podcast and you're bringing up Shredder-Man Rules?
You don't even know what I'm talking about, Seamus.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's my point.
It's crazy. But shout out to Shredder-Man Rules. Nickelodeon movie lost to time. Well, yeah, that was the first time I ever saw him in anything. But he was a teenager then. That was like in the 2000s. But yeah. So that's my thoughts on my 2 cents on those characters. What are your thoughts on Tombstone and Megawatt?
I thought Tombstone was interesting, like you said. It dives in more to like the historic, like what was going around historically at that time. So he's probably the most grounded of the villains. Also in Black and White, I feel like his mutation or superpower, whatever you want to call it, doesn't come across quite as clearly.
Yeah, that's most of the powers.
But
that's most of the
I feel like you don't really understand his deal too much, but that's just kind of a problem with Tombstone in general. And then Megawatt is just a cartoon villain, so I don't really have anything interesting to say about him.
Seamus, what do you think?
Yeah, I totally agree with everything you guys said. Like, Tombstone was very interesting. Wish he got more time to do shit. Megawatt is just a guy who's there.
He's just there. Love. I also want to add real quick. Love that Lonnie's arc got a happy ending. I like that. I like that a lot. That was great. And I love how Megawatt died. Like, again, happy that this Spider-Man kills people because that's what he does in the comics. The way he can die was hilarious. I literally laughed out loud when he throws it when Ben throws him into that incoming train. Hilarious. I couldn't see it coming. I was like, holy shit. So yeah, that's all I really gotta say on those characters. I think that's mostly most of the powers in the show outside of Ben's doesn't come across well in Black and White as much, but that's kind of a color grading problem. I'm gonna probably see what they look like in color, for sure. But yeah, that's any more thoughts on these two before we close it out? That's it. I don't have any theories. I don't even know. Like Seamus, is it confirmed that we're gonna get a season 2?
Who knows?
I'm kind of fine with this just being a one and done, honestly.
Yeah,
I would take a season 2 if they gave it to me, but I'm not begging for it.
Yeah. I'm very curious because, well, I'll say this in terms of I wonder what they're gonna do next in terms of now, because again, Phil Lord and Chris Miller are gonna be the heads of the Spider-Man TV division at Sony.
They need to get that third Spider-Verse movie done. That's what I care about.
That is true. And it will come next year, inshallah. It will come next year. But I think the only other show that I know that's in the works is that Silk TV show that's like that's been in the works for a while.
Is that still coming? I totally forgot about that.
What was it called? Like Silk Spider Society? Yeah, I think that's still happening. I'll look it up just to be sure. But yeah. I'm pretty sure that that's still in the works. I mean, if Phil Lord and Chris Miller are the heads now, like because they announced that show and they didn't really have like a division, so like and heads in charge of it. So yeah, I guess it's not moving forward. Oh, I guess not. Huh. I don't know what they'll do next after this, honestly. But I wouldn't be surprised if they revitalize that show. Actually, I'm going on IGN just to be sure. Oh, it says Silk Spider Society. This is coming from IGN. Silk Spider Society status unknown.
Years ago.
Yeah. Mikey, why don't you call us when the trailer comes out and we'll talk about it.
Honestly. Yeah. But right now it's like Spider-Noir, that's out. Yeah, and then like there's the Silk Spider Society series, an untitled female cast into the Spider-Verse spin-off series, and who knows what this shit. A Venom animated movie, who knows what the fuck's gonna happen with this shit. But yeah. So that's all I gotta say. But overall thumbs up. And what would y'all give Spider-Noir? What are your final thoughts? What would you give it out of 10 as a score?
I'd give it like a 7.5. I enjoyed it. It's a fun binge. Not too serious. Yeah.
Yeah, Seamus, what about you?
I would give it like probably like a 7.5. I had fun with it. Wasn't the best thing I ever saw, but I don't think that was the point. I had a good time. I would recommend it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm gonna say the same thing. I'm gonna give it a 7.5. I went in with mid expectations, knowing how critical I am and how much I love the original comics. The original, the first run, not the later Spider-Man Noir runs, but like the first one with Carmine D. Domenico on art. Like that's the best Spider-Man Noir run ever. Like I love that run so much. But yeah, I enjoyed it, man. It was a lot of fun. Love seeing it in black and white. Love the stylized. Love that again they acknowledged the politics of the time. Love that it was much darker. But yet much darker, yet still Spider-Man at the end of the day. It was still a lot of fun. And yeah, I would give it. So I guess overall 7.5. Out of everyone, I'll give it a thumbs up. Definitely recommend watching it. Again, all 8 episodes are on Amazon Prime for people that are willing to check it out. Yeah, so that is pretty much it. Real quick, I know if there's someone has a comment, but so hopefully we get Doc Ock in season 2. I would be very curious how they'd interpret Doc Ock if they get to season 2, because I know in the comics Doc Ock is a Nazi, is a former Nazi, is a Nazi scientist in the original comics, and he is a paraplegic with dwarfism, and he rides around in like a motorized wheelchair, and the arms are like robotic arms that stem from his wheelchair. So like that, I don't know what maybe do something like that, or maybe they'll do some like more hybrid shit. Who knows? But yeah, so we'll see. But yeah, that's pretty much it, people. Thanks for everyone who are watching this or will watch this. We appreciate it. Please, if you haven't already, please, comment, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when we drop new content. Anything that we've talked about so far, let us know down in the comments what you think of it. What are your thoughts on some of the comic book announcements? What are your thoughts on some of the trailers? X-Men 97, Spider-Man Brand New Day. What do you think of Spider-Man Noir? Let us know in the comment section down below. And yeah, people, as always, just quick plugs. Please check out the last After Dark we did, where me, Seamus, Storm, and our guest from the Zion Network, Roan, we did our Devil May Cry Season 2 review, which was a lot of fucking fun. And check out, again, some of the rest of the After Darks, Deadly Class stuff, Why the Last Man, which again, I promise will come back we gotta do it. We gotta do episode 4 this month because Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, and Safe Word is perfect for men's mental health awareness.
Nothing for Pride, Mikey.
No, we're gonna do something for Pride too. We're gonna do something for Pride too.
Okay.
We're doing something for Pride too as well. As well. And then check out the reactions, the clips, the shorts. I actually have 2 shorts planned, which are gonna be. I'll just tell y'all what it is just for the people watching. But it's gonna be 2 shorts. One's gonna be comics to enjoy if you like Backrooms, and comics to enjoy if you like Obsession. So it's gonna be more comic recommendations based off of those 2 movies. So be a lookout for that. And people, we're getting back into things. Also, I'm trying to get some more interviews. I'm gonna try to line up one before this month ends. So we'll see how that goes. But and thank you, Rebecca and Seamus, for joining me as always. Love you, appreciate you as always.
Mhm.
Again, we love y'all and appreciate y'all. See y'all next time. Knicks in 5, and as always, get home safe. Peace. Bye bye.